Yo, what's up everybody, Swillow here, and today I am bringing you the first character guide for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So the first character we have is Impa. Yo, Impa is a beast, and I feel like when I first started playing her, she seemed a bit daunting because she has so many options and possibilities, but I've really broken her gameplay down to something simple, and she's just a monster, honestly. Like, the options she has and the way she can mix it up is something really unique in a warrior style game. I feel like she's one of the most elaborate and detailed characters in that regard. So as soon as we get into this map, I want to go over her moveset, and I want to talk about her unique actions and some some special tech and combat approaches that I make with her. So let's get right in here. First up, we have the Y string. So pretty standard stuff. It's pretty fast, decent forward momentum. It gets the job done. With no symbols, which is her unique action, it's okay, but this attack pretty much becomes her best option once you have symbols. So once you get full symbols, this is basically her go-to option for damage, crowd control, everything. Next up, YX. So YX is an interesting move. It's a standard launcher, but it has this paraglide or parachute, whatever you want to call it, thing at the end. And let me show it against enemies. So when the first part is going to throw exploding kunai, which pops the enemies up next to you, and then you can follow up with some other attacks, your Y string into like a heavy, or you can follow up with the unique action, or R2 unique action, which if you hit an enemy that's alive, that's going to actually absorb a symbol from them. You can also cancel it early by pressing B, which is usually one of the better ways to use it. You can even just like get back down to the ground, and you see, like, I can get back down to the ground before the kunai even detonate, which is pretty crazy if you cancel out of it instantly. Next up, we have YYX. So YYX is a huge commitment move, but it also has invincibility frames throughout it. So mainly when I say huge commitment is you cannot dash cancel out of it mid-move. The only way to cancel it is if you use like a Shika Slate ability, or you use an item or a Muso type special or whatever. You have to use like a resource-based option to get out of that. But one of the good things about it is that you have invincibility frames during it. So see, I can do something like this. I can destroy the bomb without taking any damage because it has invincibility frames throughout it. Really cool, but it's a high commitment move, so you have to use it at the right times. Next up, we have Y times 3 into X. So I'm going to put out a talisman, and this is just going to hit enemies. When I have no symbols, this move's not that strong. But when you start getting symbols like this and I have clones, the clones will go up and they'll shoot lasers down, and I can actually cancel, I can dash cancel early and they'll still stay up there and shoot the lasers, which is it's like the most effective way to use this because you can start setting up another attack while they're back there shooting lasers. Pretty cool. But I'm going to show you a really cool way to use this move in a bit. Next up, we have the unique action with R2. So when you don't have full symbols, the unique action is going to put symbols on the enemies, and you can just kind of spam this and use it however you want, but it doesn't really do damage. It does lift enemies like weak mobs off the ground, which may have some utility in some ways, but the main reason you're using this is to put a symbol. And once you put a symbol on an enemy, the way you can absorb that symbol is either defeating the enemy. You can use the triangle attack follow-up. So if you press triangle like that and you do the follow-up attack, the first hit will teleport you kind of close to them, and the second hit actually does the absorbing if they have a symbol on them. So you can use that. You can also use Y times 3 into X, which will pull any enemies with symbols on them over to you and most likely kill them. So that's like one of the best ways to get full symbols. When all my symbols run out, I'll show you an example of getting all 3 symbols instantly. And now that I'm at full symbols, when I press R2, my attack changes to this launching attack. So I launch my clones forward, it propels all the enemies in the air, it's really fast. It's honestly just such a really strong option. The damage on it isn't the greatest, but the utility and the crowd control potential is really good. So this is definitely a strong option to mix into your gameplay, and of course you can just cancel it. You can cancel into it from pretty much all kinds of stuff. Alright, so I have no symbols right now. Let me show you how to get 3 symbols instantly. So what I'm going to do is put 3 symbols on these enemies, I'm going to do Y times 3 into X, and there you go. Full symbols instantly. The Y times 3 into X, pulling all the enemies with symbols on them to you, and then it'll most likely kill them so that you can absorb them. What's next? Running attacks. So running light, this is just like a running Y. This is just like a standard dash attack. It can go into your Y string in general, so you know it works for what it is. It initiates offense, but there's nothing outstanding about the move itself. Running X, this is pretty cool when you have your clones, because you'll all just kind of throw like a wall of projectiles. The only problem I find with this move is that the range on it is just not that great. You really have to be deceptively close to actually hit with it, so it's not as good as a move as it could be if it just had a bit more range to it. Overall, I don't use her running attacks too much. I mean, you're probably going to use the running light attack a lot on accident or just because you're running, but there's nothing like overly outstanding about it. Let me show off the Sheikah Slate abilities, and then we'll go into the Stronghold and I'll show you some strategies there. So we have her Cryo. She's gonna put out the ice block. Whoops, I did not mean to do that with my special attack. Alright, so that was the special with no symbols. But you see, after doing the special, it actually maintains at least one symbol level. Even if you have like 2 symbols or 3 symbols, you're gonna lose those symbols to enhance the attack. But you'll always have at least 1 symbol after doing the special. Alright, so the Cryo, you can press X to ride on it. Honestly, I don't find much value out of this move. Like, it looks neat. It's better to just use it on enemies that you have to use it on to force them into a weak point. Next up, we have the bomb. So the bomb is one of her best options. It's relatively low commitment. She just kind of launches a firework in the air. Straight to the point. I would say the fact that it has a low commitment casting compared to some other options is what makes it the strongest. Her Magnesis, or her Stasis, sorry. I think I need enemies to do that. Yeah, but once you freeze enemies, you can press Y and go into these unique, like this little mash string action, which is kind of neat. And then let's show the last one, Magnesis. I don't know if I can show this. You normally need stuff around you that you can pick up, like enemy weapons or whatever, to create the move. So let me try to see if I can create it in here real quick. Yeah, honestly, I feel like there's a trick to this move, that the Magnesis, that I haven't really figured out yet. But normally you need stuff around you, like with Link for sure. Like you get, like, Link needs stuff around him to pick up with it. So you need like weapons or something to some capacity around, and then she turns them all into like a giant sword and swings it around, which I'll try to show that eventually, but that's not gonna be right now. Okay, what other options do we have? I think that's it. We showed off her whole moveset, so now let me kind of show off some of her potential in combat. I want to force the boss out right here, and I want to show you just how strong her Y string can be at full symbols. So let me absorb some symbols real quick. Alright, we got some symbols. So I'm just going to wait for the enemy to do a little something. Alright, so I'm gonna force the weak point, and I'm gonna just use the Y attack right now. And look at his weak point gauge. Melted. You saw that? Yo, insane. You can melt a weak point gauge in pretty much one run with the full symbol Y string. Absolutely crazy. So we're gonna go out here. We got another boss out here. Honestly, I find bosses to just be really too easy with Impa compared to other characters. I wouldn't say it's like hard with other characters, but they definitely have to work a little harder in ways that she doesn't have to. When she has full symbols, of course. So let me show her full symbol special attack.
I am ready.
There you go. You can see her stacking the bombs there
It's time.
to get some pretty crazy enhanced damage. So we killed him without even needing to do a weak point smash. That's just how strong her attacks in general can be. Really good character, really fun character. The only thing I really didn't get to show off was the Magnesis or whatever, unfortunately. But I'm not even gonna lie, I don't use it enough to have the greatest knowledge on it. So maybe someone in the comments could help out and drop whatever knowledge they have on it. Because unfortunately my knowledge on that just isn't the greatest, especially on how to activate it. I understand you need stuff around, but I'm not sure the exact conditions of it. Anyways, I hope this guide was helpful, and definitely look out for the next character guides. Peace.